Hi, welcome to Miss Annette's little farm in the big city. There are many signs of the spring happening right now here on the little farm. The bees are busy, the animals are busy. We're getting eggs. It's really exciting. But one of the things that I'm really excited about is planting the garden. Do you recognize this? A lot of you are probably looking over this, poring over it, and looking at all of these beautiful seeds. And maybe you have a list this long. Today on the little farm, I'm going to show you how I plan my garden. And it starts with a garden journal. So I've been working and erasing, and that's why I use in my garden journal, I like to use pencil. That way I can erase things and move things around, and nothing's really very permanent. And then I decided to put 4 Post-it notes on the things I wanted to grow in what season. And this will help me when I get out this catalog, because if I can stay within the parameters of what I want to grow, then I won't be wasting my money, space, and time buying seeds that A, aren't going to plant, or B, won't grow well in my area. Hours and hours of looking at my journal. I have made my list, and I've made my list of what I want to grow in what season. And now I'm going through my book, my seed catalog, and seed catalogs online to decide where I want to purchase my seeds and what seeds I want to purchase. So I have it all written down, and then I'll be going through and ordering my seeds for the upcoming spring. There are a couple of things about seeds. There are many kinds of seeds that you can purchase. They're hybrid, heirloom, open pollinated, and GMO. Now it depends on what you are looking for in your garden. I personally am going to try to plant all heirloom varieties. The advantage of heirloom seeds is that not only can you produce the fruit of that plant, but you also can use the seeds to plant in following years. And if you're just looking for high produce yields, then you may want to go with hybrid. They germinate faster and they provide a lot of fruit. Hybrid, you will be getting a larger quantity of produce, but it may not taste as good as the heirloom. I mean, that's probably a lot of opinion there, but your seeds are not worth saving because your plants will not be as abundant as if you were to save your heirloom seeds. Open pollinated seeds, which a lot of heirloom seeds are open pollinated, are pollinated by bees and birds and just from being outside. So GMO seeds are generally used for commercial farming and not readily available for backyard gardeners like us or homesteaders or whatever you are trying to do with your garden. But I would not recommend them because I planted those carrots in the fall. I planted some swift chard, I planted some bald head cabbage, I planted some other exotic cabbages, and of course the garlic and the carrots. Now I planted the carrots and I covered them up, and I covered them up deep with deep litter with a lot of compostable materials. And it really was successful. I'm very excited about that. It's going to benefit my soil in the long run. And I am definitely going to be doing that again come this fall. I love it when a plan comes together. These wormies. There's one. It's not huge. They're pretty small. But they're good enough for a stew, I would think. More about the size of snack carrots. Oh, look at all these worms. Good healthy soil right there. Oh, these carrots are adorable. What do you think? No, I accidentally cut one. Some worms. And not only am I getting carrots, but also by planting these winter carrots and having them grow in the ground this all winter long, they help aerate the soil and keep the microorganisms in the soil alive. Since we're at the garden, let's take a look at it, and I want to show you some of the things I want to change about the garden this year. My little tiny garden, I want to make it bigger. I want to take this fence down and move it about 3 to 4 more feet closer to the house. Now we have a little pathway that we use. We have this little pathway here. And we'll take that out and then move the fence to that part. You'll see that ramp is for the dogs to go up and down the ramp. We have miniature dachshund. Corbin's a miniature dachshund, and it's hard on his back to go up and down stairs. So we have that ramp there. We'll put the fence closer to that. And then I want to kind of divide the beds up into smaller plots, with the tomato being the centerpiece, and then other plants that grow well with tomatoes around it. And then, hang on, flip you around here. There. I want to move that little area down there where I have my windmill and I have my coneflowers. I want to move that forward. I also want to add another hive of bees. And so you can see I'm already preparing for that. I laid a foundation down for the beehive. And so I want to have 2 hives this year. And I hope that that will happen. So I have this part right here is all, this is all the garlic bed. And I'm going to take the windmill out so that I can make the garlic bed go all the way across the back and grow more garlic. Because it's something that we really use a lot, and I've been successful in growing it. Now where I just dug up, the carrot, I want to plant my onions there. I'm going to plant all my onions in that spot, which will be bigger than my onion bed I had last year. want to do that. I'm going to leave the strawberries there. I'm going to let the thyme grow here, but I'm going to take a little more space in here and move this forward a little bit. It's a lot of work, a lot of physical labor, so I'm going to be doing it a little bit at a time. I'm also going to be working my herb garden. Now this area right here is usually where I have my herb garden. And if I move the garden a little bit more, I'm going to have a little more space, hang on, a little more space right here to plant more herbs. I've been researching medicinal plants, and I have, hang on a second. So in my garden journal, and everything that I put in my garden journal, everything I put in my garden journal is a rough sketch. It's a rough sketch, and like I said, I like to use pencils so that I can erase and move things around. I made a list of all of the herbs that I want to grow, and then there's a thing that we're going to build here. So I have this note for that I want to build over here. Hang on a second, I'm getting ahead of myself. Slow down. I'm so excited. So excited. Okay. Slow down. Slow down. Got a goat bothering me here. Little goatie. Okay. Herb garden. So I'll have some more space over on that end, on the other side. So I'll have more space to grow more plants. It's a little bit shady on that side, so then I will grow the shady herbs that will grow there, and then the sun ones that will grow there. We did pretty good last year, but I had a really bad year for my dill and a bad year for my, what was the other thing that kept dying? I think it was my rosemary. Wasn't doing that well either. So I will be taking some of this stuff out. That there's some ivy growing in there, and there's some alyssum growing in there, and I'll be kind of reworking the soil to try to build it back up so that I can have better luck with all of my plants. That was Dulce. Oops. Okay. She's licking the tripod. We're talking about the herb garden. So I have a pretty much all planned out what I want. I have been researching. I've got a lot of books in the library about medicinal plants. So I have decided on some of the things I already had, and then some of the things I didn't have. So I didn't have comfrey or mullein or borage or borage. I don't know how to say that. But I had just about everything else that was on there, which is good. I'm also going to be using some containers in my herb garden to help the mint from going crazy and the chives from going crazy. And I also want to put my lemon balm in a container as well. So I'll be kind of rearranging things and moving things. Of course, you know, I always like everything to be aesthetically pleasing. And I know sometimes that's really not that big of a deal. But since I share the farm with the community, I want it to look aesthetically pleasing for myself. I mean, I live here. I want it to look nice for me. But I also want it to look nice for our visitors so that when they come, they say, you know what, that looks really nice. I want to try that at my house. And just, you know, you don't go to Disney World and it's all jacked up, and you come to Disney World because it's nice, and I want people to come and learn. So I want to make it nice for them as well as for me and Mr. Steve. I mean, it is our home after all. All right, so I'm going to slow down so I can tell you what this note is about here. So here in our little arbor that Mr. Steve built, that you see this in a lot of my videos. Anyway, and the little sandbox. You see the sandbox right beside it? Uh-oh, there's a bee. Anyway, we used to have a table. I have to move you a little second. We used to have a table right here by the water fountain, and Mr. Steve didn't like trying to navigate his way around the table to turn the hose on and off. So I got rid of the table. It was kind of junky anyway, so we got rid of it. But he is going to build me, because I want a little kind of a bench space. I don't know if my picture will do, but a little bench between. I'm going to pick you up. Hang on. Sometimes it's hard to film because the goats follow me everywhere I go and they knock over my tripod all the time. Anyway, so this picture, I want a bench space, a bench right here, so that the kids can take off their shoes and put on their outdoor boots there. They can sit there and do that. And then plus we can store all the sand toys. So there'd be a bench here and then a shelf. And then we can store the boots and the sand toys. So he's going to be working on that project. I'm not really sure when that's going to be happening, but I'll definitely be sharing that with you. So that's going to change. So here is one side of the tea garden. And I have notes for that too. Some of the things I want to change. I want to try to grow some foxglove. I just love I just love how pretty it is. And I would really like to try to grow it. And I think I might be able to grow it here. I want this garden to be really lush and full. But the only way to do that is not by having a lot of varieties, but having a lot of the same varieties. So I'm going to be consolidating and moving things around here as well. I haven't quite got the blueprint down for that, and I still have plenty of time for that, as well as for my little fountain garden over here. This will be getting the same treatment. I'm going to be consolidating and moving some things around and planting some new things. I just haven't gotten that far yet. But I wanted to share that with you. So those are really garden planning 101, get a garden journal and just draw a sketch of what you kind of want in your space that you have. So I am on my journey of spring, and I love this journal because this is my vegetable garden in fall of 2022. And I see, that must have been when I planted my asparagus there. Well, and then, and that's another good thing about this garden journal is that you can look at it year by year. And this is 2023 in the fall, what I planted. So that helps you learn also. You can annotate what did well, what didn't go well. You can do all of that. I think a garden journal, if you're going to start gardening, is the way to go. Just to help you, because you don't, unless you have one of those memories where you can recall everything that's ever happened to you, a garden journal can really help you. And a notepad to help you write notes for your ideas. I do use paper. I use paper. I know a lot of people can use their phone and do that, and that works for you. Do that too. I'm just so super excited. I get like this every time it's warm outside, and it's getting closer to spring and further away from winter. I get I hope I remembered everything that I wanted to talk to you about as far as seeds and showing you my winter carrots. I'm just so proud. I want to thank you for stopping by and visiting me here on Miss Annette's little farm in the big city. I really appreciate it. I want to thank you for your comments. I am really enjoying getting to know you better and answering your questions, and it's just so nice. Thank you also for all the birthday wishes. That was very sweet. Thank you. I'm going to move because this goat will not leave me alone. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being so amazing. I love you. Try to get outside today if you can. Tell everybody I said hi when you do. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Love you. What are you doing? What is it? You're such a good girl. Such a good girl.